so forth.
Say that now or is in the
Go
essay?
ahead.
It's in the essay. Oh,
Go
go ahead. All right. Taekwondo training has kept me accountable in many areas of my life: physical, mental, health, and social. The ability to perform certain movements draws out the relevant nature of the fine muscular imbalances, aerobic endurance, core strength, and flexibility. After all of these components of fitness affect us throughout our lives. The mental agility it promotes enhances discipline on levels, giving me a stronger mind coping with emotional extremes. Taekwondo training allows me to create a future health plan for longevity through its use and its effect on my immune system, keeping me free from opportunistic pathogens and sicknesses which may attack my body. Socially, Taekwondo can be a cornerstone to a good conversation, a means through which my peers hold me to a higher regard, a boost in self-esteem, and a higher confidence which will emulate through my demeanor. All of these aspects will guide me throughout the remainder of my days, affecting the decisions I make and those which may become actions. Over the years, the system of support surrounding my journey to black belt have begun with my family. However, on my own, perseverance, drive, commitment, and persistent efforts has brought me to this focal point. At age 9, living in England, my father entered me into a Taekwondo class. I remember the first young man I sparred with: no gear, no knowledge, no technique. He was bigger than me, slightly lighter skin tone than mine, short haircut and heavy set in stature. Simply put, it hurt. The kicks were sloppy, we didn't know what to do with our hands, but we had fun. Realizing I needed to be better, to learn more techniques faster, I took to watching every martial art movie I could find. I'd be practicing the forms of the artists were doing on TV and going out in the yard trying to kick trees. The journey to black belt was altered with the constant movement and traveling never afforded me the opportunity to grow as an accomplished martial artist, as my father had been in the Air Force and stepfather in the Navy. It would come full circle on my return to the U.S. later in life, where the choice between playing football and doing Taekwondo was given to me as a sophomore in high school. I chose Taekwondo. Again, a journey cut short due to traveling. Having to switch styles constantly eventually led me to succumbing to peer pressure to play team sports. And for the second half of my sophomore year, on to graduation, I played football, basketball, and ran track, earning varsity letters as a student athlete. It wouldn't be until I entered the Marines that I later found myself signing a contract to start martial art training. The cost of attendance was high, with limited allowed class attendance, and yes, traveling still continued. I tried Shotokan karate, Jeet Kune Do, kickboxing, Wing Chun, and more, never ever being able to grow. Jaunted by the situation, I found myself on open fields with other service members, sparring, trying to perform the techniques I'd learned years past. I took some beatings and gave some in return. And yet and still, I felt the emptiness of not having completed a journey to earning a black belt. As I entered college, very few martial arts schools were established where I lived. And note, I was turned away by a Kung Fu instructor saying, how can a man with my build and stature find the graceful, fluid motions he would demand? I knew ultimately what I wanted, but it was so far out of reach. Time would pass, and the Marine Corps martial arts system was developed. And I knew then I finally had my chance. To earn a black belt in this system would not only mean knowing all of the techniques in the curriculum, but being able to run a 100-meter obstacle course 5 times back-to-back. Then grab a 30 pounds of gear and run 7 miles for time. Then following that, complete 30 minutes of nonstop sparring in a padded room with the windows and doors blackened, no spectators. Not afraid, we began training to do it. Had been cut short by my unplanned ending of service. Finding my way through the fog of all the martial arts styles being widely taught here in the Atlanta Metro, once again, I chose Taekwondo, declaring I'm here to stay. No traveling, no interruptions. I stand here today proud.
Deep breath, man. Deep breath.
Of the opportunity to have this chance to earn a rank with high standards, to begin a new journey, and becoming a master, closing a 29-year-long chapter in the book of martial arts, my journey.